India took a principled position to not take side. Prime Minister Modi's exhortation that we should strive for peace. Prime Minister Modi has also reached out to the global south. Well, we live in a very volatile and uncertain world. I think there are more military conflicts that are happening today than ever since the end of the Cold War. And this is besides the two major conflicts in Europe and the Middle East, which have the potential to turn into global conflagrations. So in that scenario, I think India has had an exceptionally challenging task in maintaining its strategic autonomy and the space for it to grow without being collateral to some of these geopolitical developments that have been very, very damaging across the globe. And I would say that, managing that space has been one of India's greatest foreign policy achievements. The fact that India took a principled position to not take sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, to maintain that this was not an era of war. Prime Minister Modi's exhortation that we should strive for peace through dialogue and diplomacy, through not conflict, was, I think, met with a fair amount of appreciation and support when we had the G20 summit in New Delhi last year. And so as we come into this year, I think you saw that there were attempts at contributing to that quest for peace. I think Prime Minister Modi is one of the few global leaders with the stature and acceptability who could travel to both Ukraine to meet President Zelensky and to Russia to meet President Putin, and to see how we, as a friendly interlocutor, could speak to these two leaders about looking at putting an end to this conflict, which is affecting not only us but countries across the global south. And in that context, I think it is also very important to note that we have maintained excellent relations not only with the United States and the Western powers, but also I would say having good relations with Russia. Lately, there has been some progress in the disengagement that we've been negotiating with China on our western border. And I think that might pave the way for some move towards normalization. We've already seen that the special representatives of the two countries have met and have talked about restoring some cross-border exchanges, including the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra and trade at Nathula. And as we progress in terms of implementing both de-escalation and then in terms of disengagement, I think we will see that there will be a greater move towards a calibrated normalization. So working between the volatility and the geopolitical undercurrents, I think, has been a great achievement. And keep in mind also the fact that despite all of this, we have managed to keep our economy intact. When countries all across us have faced a very turbulent economic situation, we have managed to keep our energy prices and our inflation levels stable in our country, because we've managed the international scene very, very well. We've been able to procure Russian oil at discounted rates. We've been able to refine them in our refineries. We've been able to resell some of these products, but use a lot of it for our own domestic usage. All this while not contributing any unilateral sanctions and keeping within the parameters of the sanctions prescribed by the United States and the Western powers. And at the same time, I think we have ensured that our energy security and our price stability has been maintained. So in a difficult year, I think our greatest foreign policy achievement has been maneuvering that space. If you look at the fact that Prime Minister Modi has also reached out to the global south, he has had several dialogues with the leaders of the global south, He has also visited many countries in the global south, whether it is Brazil, it is Guyana, it is Nigeria, it is Laos, it is Bhutan. I think it was very, very significant that in an election year, Prime Minister Modi has made all these visits to countries across the world. His visit to the United States, to attend the Quad Summit to meet President Biden was also very significant. And I think as we prepare for Trump presidency, we are, I think, in a good situation in terms of our relationship, close relationship with the United States. Well, I mean, it's when you talk about hits and misses, I think the fact that there has been a sort of a concerted attempt to put India on the dock on issues that we have felt were internal issues, were those issues that really did not concern our external partners. I think that has been an area of concern in 2024. We have seen some fairly intrusive comments with regard to democracy, human rights, the status of minorities, and in some senses, in some particular instances, there's also been some judicial activism in terms of some of the issues that I think we believe were politically motivated. So these have to play themselves out, but these were challenges that we have faced. We've also seen the great, I would say that there has been a greater involvement of the bigger powers in our immediate neighborhood. This is a new development that we have to watch carefully. And I think we have to be cognizant of the fact that great power rivalry could play across in our immediate backyard. And this is something that India, as a rising power, as a strong nation with the economic and military strength to be able to hold our own, have to be able to see how we can manage that space and ensure that our neighborhood, our immediate neighborhood, and perhaps even parts of our extended neighborhood are not affected by this attempts at great power rivalry. We have to take our close friends and partners into confidence and work with them in a manner that is productive and not a manner that is counterproductive. Well, this volatile geopolitical situation that we spoke about would continue to exist in 2025. The US incoming President Donald Trump has stated as part of his vision that he would like to see an end to conflict. This clearly dovetails with our own idea of contributing to an end to the existing conflicts and bringing in, ushering an era of peace and development so that countries can focus on growth and looking after their own people. And I think here we have an opportunity to work with US President Donald Trump and try and bring conflicts in Europe and the Middle East to an end. At the same time, we have to be able to put our shoulders to international efforts on reconciliation and reconstruction wherever required. These would come up in a post-conflict scenario. We also have to look out for, volatility in terms of energy, in terms of regional conflicts that may break out within our neighborhood or elsewhere. We have to be very alive to challenges that come from us, both from within and outside. And I think, some of these challenges could be unexpected challenges because the world is in a state of great flux. And I think national security, foreign policy is very important for a country like ours. We have to focus on our vision and objective of a Viksit Bharat by 2047 in order to ensure that we maintain high rates of growth, inclusive and sustainable growth. We have to maintain an environment that is conducive to that growth. And that is where I think the challenges of our conduct of a foreign and security policy in 2025 becomes very, very critical.